The world is drowning in an invisible war. There is no smoke of gunpowder, no roar of cannons, yet the human soul is being ravaged hour by hour, moment by moment. The enemy does not arrive from across the border, bearing swords and spears. It arises from the very inanimate object resting within the palm of your hand. Flickering blue lights, mesmerizing sounds, infinite streams of human joy and sorrow. They are the sweet poison, slowly lulling the indomitable will of great men into a deep slumber. We witness around us those who walk as the living dead. Their bodies remain here, but their minds have drifted into realms of illusion, lost within a labyrinth of the trivial. Alas, what sorrow! Those who carry within them the ambition to move mountains and fill seas now crumble before the temptation of a single touch. They yearn to forge a great legacy, yet allow precious time to slip through their fingers like meaningless dust. The heroes of this age do not perish proudly on the battlefield beneath a hail of arrows. They slowly rot in their own mediocrity and distraction. It is a gentle death, yet 1,000 times more cruel than the blade. To reclaim the precious sword of focus, to sever these invisible chains, one cannot rely on petty tricks. We must learn the way of those who have walked the thin line between life and death, those who regard stillness as the ultimate weapon. Hark to the echoes from the east, where 3 blades of the Japanese spirit await to slash through the chaotic fog within your mind. Behold the first blade, forged in the fires of necessity. Seiri, a warrior entering the duel of destiny, cannot carry the weight of 1,000 stones upon his back. If his armor is too heavy, his movements slow. If his mind is cluttered with the shadows of yesterday and the fears of tomorrow, his blade will surely waver. To hesitate for a single breath is to invite the cold embrace of death. Yet, look upon your own existence. Is your sanctuary not overrun by the weeds of the superfluous? Seiri is not the gentle act of tidying one's chambers. It is a ruthless act of slaughter. It demands that you look upon your surroundings, upon the 1,000 screaming voices demanding your attention, and ask with the coldness of a judge, does this serve my survival? Does this aid my victory? If the answer is silence, then it must be purged. We cling to clutter, to the endless notifications, the open tabs of chaos, the meaningless artifacts of the digital realm because we are terrified of the void. We fear that if we strip away the noise, we shall be left alone with our own hollow reflections. But hear this truth: only in the emptiness can the spirit breathe. You must become a tyrant to your own desires. Sever the limbs of the unnecessary. Burn the bridges to the useless. Leave only the blade and the target. For only when the battlefield is clear can the strike be true. The battlefield is silent, stripped of debris. Yet, as you raise your eyes to the horizon, a new terror grips the heart. The great work stands before you like a towering mountain of ice, its peak lost in the clouds of the impossible. The sheer magnitude of your ambition paralyzes the limbs. The mind, terrified by the weight of the journey, screams for retreat. It seeks the comfort of the shadows, begging to return to the distraction you just cast aside. For even a meaningless noise is better than the crushing silence of this burden. Here, we unsheathe the second blade, Kaizen. It is the wisdom of the humble. It is the understanding that the arrogant man seeks to swallow the ocean in one gulp and drowns, while the wise man drinks drop by drop and survives. You stand frozen because you demand of yourself the strength of a god, when you are but a mortal of flesh and bone. You look at the summit and despair, when you should be looking at your own trembling feet. Kaizen whispers a different truth. Do not conquer the mountain today. Do not write the masterpiece in this hour. Do not build the empire in this breath. Simply step. Just one step. A step so small, so imperceptible, that your cowardly mind does not have time to be afraid. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But you must move. The water that drips upon the stone day after day does not possess the fury of the storm, yet in the end, it pierces the rock. Be the water. Be the drop. Let the momentum of the small carry you through the valley of the shadow of stagnation. And now, you stand at the precipice of the final trap. The battle is won. The task is done. The weight is lifted. In that fleeting moment of relief, the warrior exhales. He lowers his guard, and the shadow strikes. How many great men have fallen not during the siege, but in the celebration of victory? How many empires have crumbled not in war, but in the intoxicated slumber of peace? Draw forth the third blade, the most subtle and deadly of them all, Zanshin. It is the mind that remains. It is the spirit that lingers. In the way of the sword, when the samurai strikes down his foe, he does not turn away in arrogance. He remains frozen in time, his blade still pointed at the fallen, his eyes piercing the void, his soul alert for the slightest twitch of resurrection. For he knows that the moment of completion is the moment of greatest vulnerability. You finish your labor, and immediately you reach for the poison, seeking the cheap reward of distraction. You break the sacred chain of focus. You sever the flow of the divine. This is a tragedy of the spirit. Zanshin demands that you hold the posture of the soul even after the deed is done. Do not rush to fill the silence with noise. Do not let the tension of creation dissipate into the chaos of consumption. Watch the arrow hit the target, and keep watching until the dust settles. Respect the ending as much as the beginning. For if you sheathe your sword before the heart ceases to beat, the ghost of mediocrity shall surely rise again to claim you. The scroll is unrolled, the secrets laid bare beneath the cold light of truth. Seiri to strip the world of its lies. Kaizen to conquer the mountain of fear. Zanshin to stand guard against the shadows of complacency. These are not mere methods. They are the rites of passage for a soul seeking liberation. But know this, traveler of the digital wasteland. A sword in the scabbard protects no one. Wisdom, rotting in the mind without the salt of action, is but a corpse. The tragedy of this age is not ignorance, but inaction. How many will hear these words, feel the stirrings of a sleeping giant within their chest, and yet, in the very next breath, scroll down to drink another cup of the very poison that kills them? They nod at the truth, then return to the lie. Do not let that be your epitaph. The screen before you is about to fade to black. That moment of darkness is your mirror. In that silence, you will face the ultimate choice. Will you seek the next noise to drown out your existence? Or will you stand up, step into the raw, abrasive air of reality, and wield these blades? The talk is over. The silence awaits. Enter it,